It would be an honor to.
Thanks, Kelly Sparrow. It's an honor to be here. And I know Tom is honored to receive this award. He's been talking about it quietly, as he does. To come to the seat of Western philosophy, to be honored at the University of Athens, is an amazing moment. And we're honored to be here with you. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to share in this celebration of Tom. Picking up on what Jeff said, it's clear that you know about the principles of biomedical ethics. Autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, justice. If you're in bioethics, everyone knows those principles. Whether they agree with the approach, whether they take a continental approach, it is the language that we share when we discuss bioethics. Some people apply those principles properly, some people understand them, and some people don't. But if you want to hear a careful and clear articulation of it, go to the source. And the source is great. Now what Jeff didn't say in a number of editions, when that book, Principles of Biomedical Ethics, first went to Oxford University Press, it made possible the publications of other works that are also critical to our field. An entire branch of Oxford University Press has been devoted to works in bioethics that haven't been as popular, that haven't sold as well, that haven't had international traction. But it made possible for scholars around the globe to explore different ideas, to try to help understand and grapple with the issues that we face in medicine, public health, and related fields. The rigor of the work is what's great. And I don't know how many probably seconds after each edition is published that Tom probably starts working on the next. Any critique, any comment is taken in and used. Now I also want to personalize this a little bit. Tom was also one of my teachers. I had finished my medical training. I knew I wanted to go into this emerging field of bioethics from the time I was an undergraduate, but I had to take a while. I had to get through medical school and my residency training first. And I came to a place at Johns Hopkins where Ruth Vaden was a professor, and she suggested I meet this guy, Tom Beauchamp, and I heard the name at Georgetown, because I wanted to do a degree in philosophy in order to understand what bioethics was about and to properly understand it. Unfortunately, the year I was there, Tom wasn't teaching. What I didn't know so well at the time is that Ruth Vaden made it possible for me to do a tutorial with Tom Beauchamp. Do a tutorial with you? Now, that turned out to be very influential. Tom said, "What's your proposal for doing a tutorial with me, because I'm not teaching this semester?" And I said, well, when I leave Georgetown with a degree in philosophy and applied ethics, people are going to assume that the only approach that I know how to take is this principle-based approach. So what I'd like to do is each week, I want to be one of the opponents of principlism. And I promise I will read and I will become the proponent of that other view. And your job, Professor, would be to battle it down. Which he did, almost like a master's tennis match that didn't last very long. The semester's only so long, but Tom was able to battle things back and go through a virtue approach, a feminist approach, care-based approach. And each time, each week, coming back, listening to me carefully, and then addressing those arguments. So he doesn't get better than that in teaching. Later on, Tom became a colleague. When Dan Macy and I did our textbook on methods in medical ethics, there was no question about who we wanted to write our chapter on philosophical methods, and he agreed. And that chapter takes in alternative views, which he takes seriously, and it becomes part of this multidisciplinary work in bioethics that we do. Part is philosophy, part is the law, history, religion, theology, decision science, ethnography, and the like. As we move forward in bioethics, we need to figure out a way that people can begin to learn to speak each other's language so that multidisciplinary work can become interdisciplinary. And finally, as a colleague, when we have a program at Johns Hopkins that picks fellows, and we've had a variety of versions of that program, but when we pick philosophers, we know who to go to. Because he can find and think and talk to a philosopher and know who's going to be great, and we've managed to train some great people as a result of Tom. The nicest part is he also celebrates the works of others. He could spend his time celebrating himself, but he celebrates all of our work, as you just heard. when in fact, we're here to celebrate him, which is so well deserved. Thank you very much.